Welcome back to the Pioneer Postgame Show as Tusculum defeats and gets a huge victory against rival Lincoln Memorial on their home floor tonight on a Wednesday night. Here in Greenville, I'm joined by senior Maddie Adkins, head coach Hannah Barrett. Maddie, going to start with you first. So obviously, huge win. What does this win obviously helps with the standings, helps with your guys' push, but tonight, especially those first couple sets, you guys were really in rhythm. What do you think was key to that?
I think just being in the gym, and then we've tried to keep the energy up and keep the confidence up. So we were kind of focusing on that tonight, especially we lost to them last time.
Yeah, a little bit of a revenge factor there, and you guys got the win, and you guys have won now 3 in a row. You get Newberry on a Friday here to finish up this little bit of a homestand, and then you got next week Mars Hill and LR, and I believe that finishes up the season. Mentality-wise, where do you think this team's at right now as you guys are closing down the stretch and conference tournament time is coming up and everything's right around the corner, it seems like?
I think we're right where we want to be, we're peaking at a good spot now that it's the end of the year. So we're just going up from here.
Going up from here.
Yeah.
How do you think the vibes have been able to stay so high? I mean, obviously you guys have battled a lot of adversity throughout this season, from the storm to just the way it's went, new coach, everything else, and yet here you guys are late in the season. You guys are starting to play some of your best volleyball.
I think our team, is awesome. We're always our biggest cheerleaders, staying relentless. Yeah. Yeah, so I think, just the team helps. We all love playing with each other. Even the freshmen are getting the hang of it too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, kind of shifting to you now. Obviously, we've seen this team from the start to where they're at now. What have you been impressed by most by this team as you guys are hitting a great stride and hit a little bit of a great run and a perfect time to go on one coming down the stretch of this thing?
I've been extremely impressed with their coachability each day. We throw something new at them and continuing to get better at the defense each day, and Madison just trying to grow her offense a little bit so that we can get as many one-on-one opportunities as possible, and she did a phenomenal job of that tonight. So just the willingness for them to adapt and change into a new system, and they're really getting the hang of it, and like you said, at the right time. So they've been an awesome group to lead, and especially with my first year, so couldn't be more proud of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, credit to you guys as well. Obviously, offensively, Maddie doing her thing, making sure the ball's being spread around. You got a lot of people involved tonight, whether it was Karis on the right side, Addison on the outside. We found Martina late there in that 4th set out of the middle. Talk about the defense, though, Coach. I mean, you guys had a pretty good game plan coming into this one. For the most part, you kept Lincoln Memorial out of rhythm, it seemed like, most of the match in this one. What did you guys do to kind of neutralize that offensive attack of theirs?
Yeah, after the last time we played them, their outsides kind of had their way with us, and that was one thing that we really focused on this time, is just making sure, okay, as soon as the ball's passed off the net, we're going to the left, and if they're in 2-hitter, we're going to the left. Let's make the middle score, make them have to do their job to, make us switch out of the block scheme that we were in, and so we did a really good job of that tonight, and Ira and Taylor and Macy and Madison and Sophia did a really, really good job in the backcourt, and Ira's been improving every day along with the others, and she's just all over the place in the best way possible. So yeah.
Absolutely. Well, obviously this is probably where it gets hard too, because now you start looking at the standings, you start looking at game by game, and you're like, well, if you win this game, then we move here, and if this team loses there. So how critical is it going to be, and what are you going to do to try to keep this team's focus where it needs to be, one game at a time, as we're nearing the end of the season, and every game really does matter with seeding. It's hard not to look at that.
We talked about it briefly before the match, but we really try not to talk about it. We're just focused on the opponent that's in front of us, and obviously LMU's a great team, and worrying about Newberry next, and like I said last time, just stacking the days and making sure that we're dialed in for practice tomorrow to get ready for Newberry and make sure we're prepped. So they've done a really good job of that, and we'll continue to do that for the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Well, again, catch the Pioneers back in action Friday night here against Newberry as they'll host the Wolves, and should be a fun one, 7 o'clock for serve. Signing off from tonight, though, we've got the Pioneers taking this thing 3-1 over the visiting Rail Splitters from Lincoln Memorial. From all of us here on the Pioneer Postgame Show, that's Hannah Barrett, that's Maddie Adkins, I'm Justin Chartrand. So long, everybody.